Thank you and welcome to the delegation of our academic partners at Colgate University, whose colleague Georgia Frank, the Charles A. Dana Professor of Religion at Colgate, working with our co-director Monica Burchick, developed a research project with 120 students over 6 semesters, during which students learned firsthand about the lives and careers of Millay Arts alumni and how Millay Arts supports artists across disciplines by researching and cataloging 2,800 alumni records and converting tens of thousands of hard files into searchable online database. Colgate not only helped Millay move into the 21st century, but also created an enduring archival asset and networking resource for our community of alumni and everyone who wants to know more about the artists Millay has supported over the years. We are proud to host Colgate tonight too, and we will also enjoy an ongoing annual fellowship here at Millay. They will enjoy a fellowship. We'll enjoy having it. Introducing faculty and fellows and students from our academic partners to our core residency each year will only serve to diversify and enhance the overall cohort experience. Millay's core residency, the program for which we're best known, is unique among artist residencies. It hosts an intimate group of up to 6 writers and artists at a time. Each cohort is selected by a blind jury out of the thousands of applicants each season to come to Steepletop, where we provide housing, studio space, grocery shopping, and even chef-prepared meals in this bucolic, inspiring setting, all so that the artists can focus entirely on their work. And our blind juries are themselves comprised of a diverse rotating roster of alumni partners and professionals. Underwriting all this programming and keeping creatives in the rooms and studios where it happens are our partnerships, absolutely vital to Millay Arts' ability to support and ensure that we reach a wide diversity of exceptional multidisciplinary artists. Among them, Colgate and Vassar, the Diasporic Vietnamese Artist Network, Lambda Literary, Rhode Island School of Design, University of Pennsylvania, Hugo House, and the William Sellender Estate. We will also continue with our existing partners, Asian American Writers Workshop, Berkshire Taconic Community Foundation, Center for Book Arts, Charm City Anonymous Donor, Joseph Robert Foundation, Restless Books, Robert Black Foundation, and the Roscoe Lee Brown Foundation. Please give it up for our partnerships to make this all possible. Your ongoing commitments to our residencies. And here to introduce our first honoree of the evening is the person in charge of building and maintaining those important relationships with over a decade of experience in artist residency leadership, an Art Institute of Chicago painter herself, passionate about the arts, and a fierce advocate for artists. She joined Millay Arts staff in 2018 from Sculpture Space and began expanding Millay's reach right away. 2 years later, when the fate of our organization, like many, was up for grabs, together with her co-director, Calliope Nicholas, she executed our pandemic response plan, allowing Millay Arts to be one of the only organizations of its kind, of any kind, to remain open, safely, and on mission throughout the pandemic. And as if that weren't enough, leveraging our COVID recovery resources, she secured a $150,000 historical preservation match grant from the state of New York to restore and enhance the historic Millay Arts barn. She is brilliant, she is inventive, a consummate partner in leadership. She gives fuel to the furnace. Please welcome to the stage Millay Arts co-director and manager of external affairs, Monica Burchick.
Hello. I'll start over. Thank you all for coming. I can't believe the gala is here and is going without any thunderstorms. This is Vincent giving us her love. I'm so happy to see everyone. I'm so happy to see so many alumni and so proud to see the workup. And I just wanted to thank you all. It's really incredible to support art and artists at this time in this way. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Here to introduce our special guest. Where this is moving. Okay, Lucy. She does a lot of special events. She's the expert. I'm here to introduce our special guest. I'm not going to screw up her name because you know my name. Christina Horay Gudu, who has served on the Edna St. Vincent Society and Steepletop Board since 2022. She also serves as their literary officer. Christina describes herself as a devoted lover of Millay's work since a child. She was thrilled to become a trustee of the Society after the publishing of her work, Young for Children, A Girl Called Vincent, The Life of Poet Edna St. Vincent Millay, which I'm going to order on Amazon tomorrow. So. Without further ado, again, thank you so much for coming. And Bjorn, you are just over the top, but I appreciate it. Here's Christina.
It's coming down to my level, that's why it's moving down. This is what I just received. Up a little bit. I want to say thank you Monica, and thank you to Bjorn and Millay Arts for inviting me to be part of this wonderful celebration, 50th anniversary celebration of Millay Arts, honoring the program and the Pulitzer Prize winners who have done some of their award-winning work here. I'm delighted to be with you representing the Edna St. Vincent Millay Society at Steepletop. Just want to say a few words about the Millay Society. We're the stewards of the property that surrounds us here, which, as Bjorn said, Millay named Steepletop after the tall pink flower that grows all over the grounds. Her sister Norma, a few years after founding Millay Arts, founded the Edna St. Vincent Millay Society in 1978 to preserve the poet's literary legacy, home, and personal treasures. When Norma died in 1986, her good friend Elizabeth Barnett took over leadership of the society. And today, under the leadership of Elizabeth's daughter, Vincent, named after, yes, you know who, we continue with this twofold mission. We share our lineage to Norma with Millay Arts, owners of course, Millay's iconic barn, which she gifted to them, along with much of the property here that they are housed on today. 100 years ago, though, Edna St. Vincent Millay had not laid eyes on this land. She and her husband, Eugene Boissevin, didn't buy it until June 1925. And she would live here for the rest of her life, and she would die here in October 1950. 1923, though, was a watershed year for Millay. Many of us can point to a particular year in our lives that changed everything. For Millay, it was 1923. At the end of 1922, she had returned from 2 years in Europe. She'd been ill with stomach troubles and had hardly written anything. She was discouraged overall, in spite of her strong and growing literary reputation. But that April, she went to a party with some old friends in Croton-on-Hudson and fell in love with a handsome Dutch businessman named Eugene Boissevin. Eugene just as instantly fell in love with her, and he promptly began his lifelong mission of taking care of her. It was while living with Eugene in Croton in the spring of 1923 that Millay received a letter from Columbia University with the stunning news that she had been awarded the Pulitzer Prize in Poetry, only the first woman to ever do so. The most important part of the news for Millay was the $1,000 prize money. In fact, the only mention we have in any of her letters or diary entries is in a May 30th letter to her mother, Cora, where she first announced she was going to marry Eugene, and then wrote about sending Cora a small money order, adding, quote, "I haven't at the moment a great deal, except for my $1,000, which I ain't gonna bust for God or hero. I'm gonna start a bank account with it." She married Eugene in a friend's garden in Croton on the morning of July 18th, and that afternoon they drove to Manhattan, where she had abdominal surgery. Her comment before the surgery can be interpreted as the only other record that we have of her acknowledging the Pulitzer. Reportedly, she said, "Well, if I die now, I shall be immortal." Important as an achievement as her Pulitzer was, it's also important to know it was only the second year that there had been a Pulitzer Prize in Poetry. In 1922, it had been awarded to Edward Arlington Robinson. Millay won the award for several works that had been published in 1922, The Ballad of the Harp Weaver, her third collection of poetry entitled A Few Figs from Thistles, 8 sonnets published in American Poetry, and a miscellany. And included in that group is one of her most quoted poems. I think many of you probably know it. My candle burns at both ends. It will not last the night. But ah, my foes and oh, my friends, it gives a lovely light.